Bum 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 Hello, and welcome to the 31st weekly update on the 31st of July, I think, 2021. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. It'll be August tomorrow. I've been watching some Twin Peaks this week. I'm now literally halfway through the second series. It's weird because the second series is 3 times as long as the first series. Series 1 has 8 episodes and series 2 has 22 episodes, so that's literally just 3 times 8 is 22, right? So you could have had 4 series out of the original 2 series, but they decided against it for some reason. I don't understand. I don't understand what they're all about. Is it? 2 times 8 is 16. 16 plus 8 is 22. Yeah. So yeah, could have. I know my maths. Shut up. Alright. So yeah, they could have had 4 series, and then the one in 2017 could have been season 5 rather than season 3. Anyway, I haven't got to that yet, and I haven't got to the film yet. But I know one thing about the film: it has David Bowie in it. So that's another connection Ricky Gervais has to David Lynch. Because of course David Lynch has worked with David Bowie, and David Bowie has worked with Ricky Gervais. They also have a connection through Patrick Stewart as well. Patrick Stewart has worked with Ricky Gervais, and Patrick Stewart has worked with David Lynch. Now all we need is for David Lynch to work with Ricky Gervais, and for me to work with both of them, and then the world will be able to end then. Because everything that needs to have happened will have happened, so... Anyway, so today, or well, I should say yesterday, I got a new shirt. I'll show you the shirt. Basically, every single bit of it has a different pattern on it. And it came with this label, which I've taken off because I disagree with it. Oh, but I assume this is just the name of the brand. Foul Fashion. I disagree. I don't think it's foul. I think it's amazing. And I'm going to be wearing that shirt today because today, me and my mum and dad, and I assume my brothers, but I don't know. I don't know if they are, but probably not. Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Me and my mum and dad, and optionally my brothers. I'm still not quite sure. We are going to a restaurant, a fancy restaurant, which is sort of like the family restaurant. Well, it's not the family, you know what I mean? It's the restaurant that we, as a family, go to whenever our bit of the family and any other bit of the family are having a bit of a get together. We always go to this restaurant. And we're going there today. It's been like 4 years, roughly, since we last went there, so it's been a while. And I'm going to be wearing that shirt today. So, yeah. Well, as we go there, because we're going there today. So that's that. Twin Peaks is a weird show, though. It's really good. Like, it's really, really good, but it's really, really weird. I'm just looking forward to watching more of it, and then getting to the film, and then watching the 3rd series, which I've heard is really good as well. have a thing in my eye. I think they call it an eyeball, but I don't like that name, so I'm going to call it a Quandesibedooben Fluben, because that's a better name. Quandesibedooben Fluben. Quandesibedooben Fluben Dooben. Quandesibedooben Fluben Dooben. Quandesibedooben Fluben Dooben. Diddle-diddle-diddle-pop-pop. So, what else have I been doing this week? Have I done anything else this week? I'm pretty sure I've just been watching Twin Peaks this week. And by this week I mean yesterday, because basically the day before yesterday I watched episode 6 of series 1 up to episode 3 of season 2, and then yesterday I watched episode episode 4 of series 2 up to episode 11 of series 2. Now the reason I didn't watch episodes 1, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 the day before is because I'd already seen them. I saw them a while ago, but then the website that I used to watch them on legally stopped working, so I've had to find a new website to watch them on illegally, which is why I've only just been able to resume my viewing of Twin Peaks. Pretty sure they're on Netflix, but I'm not giving Netflix money. I've already explained this to you people, and so you guys know why that is the case. Anyway, so that's that. It's a damn good show, though. I can't get over it. It's such a good show, like, it's such a good show. So that's that. That's everything I've been doing this week. Everything I've been doing over the following week, I don't know. Watching more Twin Peaks, obviously. Watching more films, I guess. Obviously, we'll get to the films I've watched this week. An update. I forgot to mention something last week, because obviously I watched They Live last week. I forgot to mention that that film actually includes as a prop the PKE meter from Ghostbusters. It's just there, and that kind of took me out of the film for a bit, because I was like, oh yeah, this is a movie. I forgot. So that's it's weird. Like, why would they do that? I mean, because Ghostbusters was already a really well-known film, so surely they would know that if they included a prop from Ghostbusters, people would be like, that's a prop from Ghostbusters. So maybe it was just as a reference to Ghostbusters, but I don't know if that doesn't really make sense. So I don't know. Anyway, so following week, as I've said, I don't really know. I mean, I did a gaming video this week as well. Let me guess, did I once again forget to put the link? Yeah, I forgot to put the link in the description again. Whatever, shut up. Anyway, so that's that. So next is comment on current political events. This is the fun bit, isn't it? So let's go. Here we go. BBC News website. BBC News website. Anyway, so okay. Don't care. This is all just stuff about jab will not be compulsory for university lectures. Good. Because if it was, I'm leaving the country, even though I'm not in university. That's a different thing though. That says mandatory for students in England. I'm a student in England. Whatever though. Taliban attack major Afghan cities. Well, that is hardly surprising, is it? Billie Eilish is idiotic. The man who killed Pluto. Can I kill him, please? Thank you. Photographer shoots. See, now this is newsworthy. Photographer shoots intricate scenes with Lego in cinematic style. Right. Well, I mean, I wish it included a couple of the pictures, but can't expect sense from BBC, can you? Striking news pictures from around the world. Okay. Right then. Right then. Right then. That is actually quite funny, actually. There's boats. Aha. At least 430 migrants crossed in a single day last week. Well, welcome as far as I'm concerned. They can't make the country any worse, so let them all in, as far as I'm concerned. Annual body painting day. Because that's what we need in the world right now, an annual body painting day. Good. That's actually really cool. So's that. Actually, that's really cool as well. Lavender. I mean, lavender is such a beautiful colour, isn't it? It's such a good colour. Bit of kidnapping as well. That's because it's Nigeria. Maybe if the government wasn't as corrupt, good things might happen there. Right. That's that then. Right. Elon Musk, I don't want to be CEO of anything. Well, that's lucky because we don't want you to be CEO of anything. No. No. 5-year-old boy dies after being found in river. The body of a 5-year-old boy has been found in a river. Well then, he didn't die after being found in a river then, did he? I think you'll find he found before. He died before he was found, so that... I mean, that'd make sense as well as the title. Boy, 5, dies, another comma, before being found in the river. That makes more sense. I mean, it's not like you haven't already overused commas, so adding a third comma there isn't gonna change much, is it? Jesus Christ. What the hell? Okay, don't know what the frig that is, don't really want to, thank you very much. Right, that's the BBC News website. Now, BBC News YouTube channel. Blah blah blah. Oh, now this... Wait, sorry, what's that? Whatever. This is amazing, right? This is the best thing ever. So... box office receipts then fell sharply, right? She was deprived of potential earnings. Oh, that's so sad. Did you only get £157 million instead of £158 million? Oh, you poor little Scarlett Johansson, you. I feel so bad for her. Jesus Christ. It's ridiculous. My God. Oh, God, Jesus Christ. What the hell is this? Mary Simon becomes Canada's first Indigenous Governor General. There's no such thing as Indigenous to Canada. You can't be Indigenous to Canada. Literally the only place you can be like a native to. I'm just assuming Indigenous means the same as native, to be honest. You can only be native to Africa. If you're a human being, the only place you can be indigenous to is Africa, because everyone's from Africa. So let's see if anyone else points out this little fact. Lovely. Is it? Okay. It says US is heading in the wrong direction. Well, no, really? See, this is just so yeah, so nothing really has happened this week at all of any interest whatsoever. So that's that. Then let's talk about films I've been watching. So this week I've watched 5 films, 5 very good films. 4 of whom have already made their way onto my list of favourite films. Now, of course, on Discord, I have the list of my top 20 favourite films. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just trying to... I have a private list and a public list. The public list is just the top 20 of the full list. The full list at the moment is at 39, I believe. And I'm trying to get it up to 50. My 50 favourite films, right? And then I'll do a video on it, going through, talking from number 50 to number 1, all my favourite films. So that'll be a pretty long video, I assume. Who knows, this one, the first one, might be able to make its way on as well. The first one, out of the 5, is the only one which isn't on the list. But now I think about it, it's also a very good film. So, even though last week I said I was going to be watching every single film of Andrzej Zulawski's films, I couldn't find most of them, so instead I only just watched his 3 most famous films. So the first one is The Devil from 1972, which is his second film, and it's that's pretty good. Yeah, it's very good actually. But not as good as all the other films that I've watched this week. That's the worst film that I've watched this week, but saying it's the worst film isn't saying it's bad, because by no means is it bad. It's very good. And it has one of the most surprising someone being shot in the face with a gun scenes I've ever, because it just came out of nowhere, really. So that shocked me quite a bit. I liked it, so it was well done, because it just cut. So you don't even get time to see how they did the effect. It's just cut, right? So that's pretty cool. Second film, Possession, which is his 4th film. His 3rd film, I can't remember what the the 3rd film of his that I've watched this week. I can't remember what number it is. But anyway, this is Possession, 1981. Sam Neill is in it. Sam Neill's a great actor. most people probably know him from Jurassic Park, which is a shame because this film is better, and so is In the Mouth of Madness, which is my favourite film with him in it. But yeah, so that's I mean that this film's freaky. This film is proper, made me very uncomfortable. But it's very, very well done. And that's that. So the third film is On the Silver Globe, which is released in 1988, but it was actually filmed in 1977. And at least for part of the film, like the first half of it, is actually a found footage thing, which, seeing as it's 1977, and I've not seen anyone point this out before, so I think I'm like the first person in history to point this out. It's the very first found footage film in history. Because Cannibal Holocaust is the first that was released in 1980, but this was filmed in 1977, making it the very first found footage film. So this is a historically important film, right? And people say that some people still believe that the Blair Witch Project was the very first found footage film, despite the fact that literally, 22 years earlier, this film was made, I should say. Because, of course, now the reason this film was only released 11 years after it was made is because, basically, the Polish government saw what they were doing with it, because it's about religion, or it has religious themes, and it's about sort of freedom and stuff like that. And the government doesn't like people criticizing religion or wanting to be free. So they basically they stopped it. So like 1/5 of the film doesn't exist, and the film is already 2 hours and a half long. So the film would be 3 hours long if it was completed, which would have been incredible. But even though there are scenes missing, which are just explained with sort of voiceover, it's still a really, really good film. It's still his best film that I've seen, anyway. Which I think it's at number. Let's see, what's Possession at? Possession is, sorry, just let me get up the list of favourite films, because I just want to see what it is. So On the Silver Globe is at number 10 on the list, just below The City of Lost Children, and just above Naked Lunch, which we'll talk about later. So that's that. But yeah, it's just a really good. It's like a science fiction thing with really good imagery. All these films have really good imagery. That's something I can say about all the films on the list, actually, especially the final one. Jesus, we'll get to this. Anyway, so the next film I watched was Naked Lunch from 1991, David Cronenberg film. Who's the guy who made The Fly and Scanners and Videodrome, which I still haven't seen yet, but I tried to watch it once, and the website I guess, and this is another thing where the website wasn't working, so I'll get around to watching Videodrome at some point. This film was really strange. I think that's the easy. I think that's the simplest way. But it also has a really interesting opening titles as well. But yeah, so this film has Peter Weller, who I only know from RoboCop and this film now that I've watched it. But before I'd seen this film, I'd only seen him in RoboCop. He plays RoboCop, but he plays the main character in this film. It also has Ian Holm in it as well, and God, what's the guy's name? The guy from Jaws. I'll have to look this up. Sorry. Roy Schneider. That's it. Roy Schneider, who's in Jaws. So he's in it as well. But yeah, it's really good. Really good film. Right. So that's that. Then the final film is this is my third attempt to try to watch it. I finally watched The Colour of Pomegranates, 1969. Golly, it's a good film. And I think it's the highest. Oh yeah, so Naked Lunch, as I said, was just below On the Silver Globe. So Possession is at number 28. The Devil isn't on the list yet, as I said. It'll probably make it there eventually. Possession is at number 28, which is just below 2001: A Space Odyssey and just above Paths of Glory, right? Possession. So I just told you that. I'm such a retard, honestly. On the Silver Globe, I've already told you. Naked Lunch is at 11, just under On the Silver Globe and just on top of Pink Floyd The Wall. And The Colour of Pomegranates is at number 14, which is just below Invasion of the Body Snatchers and just above Angst. So that's that. Now this film, fine. I'm so glad, because the first time I tried to watch it, I started falling asleep. That wasn't because I was bored. That was just because I was really tired, and I didn't want to. I wanted to be fully awake when I watched it, so I stopped watching it after like 20 minutes or so. And then the second time I tried to watch it, the website was buffering, so I couldn't watch it. And this time I found a copy of it on YouTube, so I knew it wouldn't do it, and I actually finished the film. And it is probably one of the best. It's, you know, screw it. It's the best looking film of all time. I think that's safe to say easily. It's the best looking film, and also it's the only film I've ever seen, which is constructed entirely of static shots. There's not one shot in the film where the camera moves or zooms or anything. It's completely static shots the entire time, which is really cool. Of course, apart from some silent films I've seen are obviously like that, but that's not because that wasn't an artistic choice. That's just because they didn't know how to move the camera back then. It was really difficult to. But this is the first film since the invention of camera movement that I've seen which has not moved the camera whatsoever in any shot. At least that I know of. I mean, I might have seen a film which does that and just not noticed. But in this film, it was very noticeable that literally the camera never moved throughout the entire film. But anyway, yeah. So all 5 of those films are very good, and I suggest you to watch all of them. If I were to rate them, well, it's weird because when I did the list, I put Naked Lunch above The Colour of Pomegranates. Which is strange, because I was rating them... When I put the films on the list, I was rating them individually, based off of the films next to them. So I may have to rethink the list a little bit. I'll have to... Obviously, the list isn't in its final form. It's still being created. So once I've got the 50 films, I'll proper have a really good think through it and get it in the perfect order, and then I'll do the video. So that's that. But yeah, they're all very, very good films. Very, very good, all of them. So that's films I'm watching. Answering the questions that you might have for me. Obviously, no one's watching. So interesting. This is I think it's the 3rd or the 4th. I think it's the 3rd weekly update, which has had the same number. It's the same numbered weekly update as the day of the month that it's on. Let me actually see, like, find this out. This is really interesting. So, weekly update number 6 was on the 6th of February. And then weekly update number 26 was on the 26th of June. And then here we are, 31st on the 31st of July. So yeah, that's that. So this is the 3rd weekly update to have the number of the weekly update match the number of the day of the month that it's on. 6, 26, and 31 have done that. So yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because you imagine if I hadn't have started on the 2nd, if I've decided to do them on Fridays instead of on... Because the first day of the year was a Friday. If I'd chose to do it on Friday, those wouldn't have matched up. Different days would have. Like the 16th weekly update was on the 17th of the month. So no, that would have been No, so that would have been it. Yeah, so or maybe the 17th was on the 16th. I don't know. What I'm saying is more would have matched up most likely, but the 3 which have wouldn't have. So it's pretty lucky that I did that, innit? I'm just so cool. That's my problem. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next thing that I do. Goodbye.